Good evening, everyone, and welcome inside the Bison Sports Arena for NDSU basketball here on NBC North Dakota Sports, and also thanks to those of you joining us on ESPN3 for this great matchup between two great mid-major programs tonight. North Dakota State hosting Towson today, and Towson, a team, Jamal, that comes in with a lot of expectations. They have the reigning CAA Player of the Year in Jarrell Benneman, and they're expected to win this league in the Colonial.
Which says a lot about the program. I mean, they were just 1-31 2 years ago. They won 18 games last year, largest turnaround in NCAA history. The program's come a long way in a short period of time.
As for North Dakota State, they've won 6 out of their last 7, including a big win over Delaware by 19 on Monday night. Taylor Braun, 33 points, has really become the guy, the go-to guy for North Dakota State.
You saw the Bison turn defense to offense in a flash in that one. Taylor Braun took over in the second half. Unbelievable effort. Hopefully more of that from him tonight here at the BSA.
And ironically, these two teams will meet for the FCS National Championship in just a couple of weeks. We'll be back with the tip-off between Towson and North Dakota State right after this.
This is the Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Wellness Report. I'm joined now by Team Dr. Vern Prohaska. Thank you very much for joining us. I have a question about upper body injuries that don't affect running, but when you have a dislocation or a broken bone in the upper body in a sport like basketball, how do you stay active? How do you stay in shape?
Well, certainly you have to work around that as best you can. Keep your cardio up. You can work lower body without stressing the upper body too much. But as you know, any running involves motion of the arms, and that can throw things off a bit, so you have to find ways around that.
I know it's a little bit easier said than done. What type of ways can you find a way around that? What type of exercises can you do?
Well, you can modify things a little bit without getting a lot of arm motion involved. Some of the trainers will work with side-to-side motion. We got other treadmills and things you can work on without pushing it too fast and trying to keep the upper body as still as possible. And then there's some other plyometric things that you can do that will help as well.
All right. Thank you very much, Vern. We appreciate it. That's been the Sanford Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Wellness Report. Back to you, Brian.
Jamal getting set to tip things off here as we take a look at Saul Phillips, head coach for North Dakota State in his 7th season with the Bison. Of course, in his first season, it was a memorable one, taking North Dakota State all the way to the NCAA tournament for the first time. Getting a look at the Bison huddle led by Taylor Braun, 18 points a game, the senior from Newburgh, Oregon. The preseason pick is the Summit League Player of the Year. Towson coming in with a lot of expectations as well, Jamal. As we mentioned just a few minutes ago, Jarrell Benneman and this Towson team, after having one win a couple of years ago, 18 last year, and all of a sudden, they're the conference choice to win the Colonial this year.
And a lot of that has to do with Benneman and his skill set. Very versatile player, kind of like a Carmelo Anthony in college, can hurt you inside out. 6'8" with some size, loves to go on the block, but has a nice jump shot too. But he rebounds so hard. The leading rebounder in the NCAA. Keep an eye on him tonight.
Our officials for tonight are Josh Johnson, Rhett Lamoureux, and Brock Wells. Getting set to tip things off here at the Bison Sports Arena. Tamaj Parker Rivera and Trayvon Wright in the center circle. And it's won by Towson, and they will have the first possession here. Mike Burwell running the point for Towson. The reason why he is doing that is Jerome Hairston, the normal point guard for the first 5 games, has been suspended for the last 7 games due to some issues with conduct detrimental to the team. And there's a look at Jarrell Benneman, Conference Player of the Year last year for Towson, preseason Player of the Year this year, leading the country in rebounding, also averaging right around 18 points a game.
It'll be an interesting matchup for NDSU to see if they want to put size on Marshall Bjorklund on him or if they want a little bit more speed on him.
Marshall Bjorklund answers, shooting 69% from the floor. Bjorklund, the senior from Arlington, Minnesota, has the first bucket for NDSU.
And Marshall never takes bad shots. Anytime he touches the ball, it's within the flow of the offense. Never forces up a bad look. You're comfortable every time he shoots.
Oh, nice strong move to the basket. First 2 for Parker Rivera.
That's that Towson game. A lot of slashers, a lot of attack mode. They love to get into the paint, especially off the dribble.
Braun thought about the 3, now looking inside as Corey Brown posting up. Nice cross-court pass to Trayvon Wright for 3. That is off the back of the rim, no good, and pulled down by Marcus Damas.
Keep it hot, keep it hot, keep it hot.
High screen and roll, that is what we will see a lot of today for Towson. And oh, nice roll there as big man Parker Rivera has his second basket. Towson has a 6-2 lead.
Nice perimeter or nice half-court set. You don't see a lot of that from the Tigers. They love to push, get out in transition. It's nice to see them able to finish in the half-court.
Bjorklund singled up. Some help comes, and Bjorklund tries to go to work there, and Parker Rivera held his ground and Marsh off the mark.
Keep it hot! Keep it hot! Move it, Ralph!
Benjamin checked by Trayvon Wright. He fires the three. That's off the rim, no good. Benjamin was a 40% three-point shooter last year, but just right around 18% this year. Braun driving inside, right around his man. That's off the rim, no good. Tapped out by Bjorklund. And the Bison will set it up. Braun for three. Yes. Taylor Braun picking up where he left off on Monday night, has his first three, and the Bison trim the lead to 1.
Because of the offensive groove that he's been in, he has that green light off of a quick shot clock. The Bison might have wanted to milk some clock. No, Taylor Braun's got the green light to go ahead and let it fly right away early in the shot clock.
Long jump shot off the mark by Parker Rivera, gets his own rebound, and then he's fouled underneath. 2 free throws coming up. A good start to this game here for Towson as Parker Rivera has been very active here in the first couple of minutes.
And this is just a microcosm of what the Tigers love to do when they crash the offensive glass. They rebound the ball very well on the offensive end and then get you in foul trouble in a hurry because of it.
Trayvon Wright picking up his first foul. Parker Rivera knocks down his first free throw. Not a very good free throw shooter, just 44% coming into this one. Again, only a sophomore. Second shot is up, and that one is also perfect. So Parker Rivera, a very good start. 6 of the first 8 points here for Towson, and the lead for the Tigers is 3. Bjorklund again, posting up. Braun will square up again for 3. That one off the top of the backboard and pulled down by Benjamin, who looks to push. Was looking for a feed inside the Damas, and now Corey Brown was out in front of the field, and it was tipped a while by Brown. And now they're going to reverse that call and say it was off of Towson. Ball will remain with NDSU. Look at Saul Phillips.
Corey Brown was very pleased to plead his case. Take a look at the replays. That one goes off the Tigers out of bounds. Corey Brown is making sure the official know, hey, that's our basketball. He's almost ready to lose it.
Nodak Mutual Insurance replay. Braun. Going to call the foul on Parker Rivera underneath. That's his first foul. Again, tough matchup for Parker Rivera, giving up a little bit of size, but so far in the early going, doing a pretty good job on Marshall Bjorklund.
And you know the Bison are going right back inside to Marshall. They love to get him at least one touch of possession. And Towson's not a very deep team either, so if they get in foul trouble early, it could be a different game for them.
Corey Brown inside of Bjorklund has position, doubled, feeds it to Trayvon Wright, who fumbled it inside and now taken away, but it was batted out of bounds and will remain with North Dakota State.
I know Bison fans are used to Saul Phillips being an energetic guy. Well, Pat Scarry for Towson is one of the most energetic coaches you'll see this season.
Just in his 3rd year. Trayvon Wright had a look for 3, instead drives it in, feeds it to Marshall Bjorklund. Nice feed from Trayvon Wright. Marshall's got 4 points in the early going.
Nice hands by Marshall, able to stay looking for that shot, kept his hands up, ready for the pass. Trayvon with a nice dump down low.
Burwell cut off. Benjamin going to work on Wright. Boy, nice strong move. Missed the bunny underneath. Ball batted around by Parker Rivera and now grabbed by Lawrence Alexander. Alexander all the way to the rim, swatted away. Brown back up with it, gets it to go, and the foul.
He's been finishing through contact the last 3 games. He's been a high energy guy for the Bison. A lot of defense and offensive rebounds like that one.
Take a timeout. North Dakota State leads at 9-8 on the Shield scoreboard. We're early here from Fargo. Let's take a look at our American Red Cross keys to the game for North Dakota State. Support those affected by disaster by logging on to redcross.org/North Dakota. Jamal, Pretty simple inside containing Benneman.
And he's a monster. He's a guy who loves to hit the boards. Like we said, you have to bother him with active hands, and you have to box out, limit them to one shot, and don't get beat in transition. Those are the 3 keys for North Dakota State.
Those keys to the game brought to you by the American Red Cross. Corey Brown finishes off the 3-point play, and the Bison lead it by 2.
We keep talking about the offensive rebounding ability of Towson. They've out-rebounded their opponents by over 9 boards per game this year. Very active in the paint. Obviously, Benneman's the key cog in that wheel.
Raphael Guthrie into the game, as is Mike Felt for North Dakota State. Chris Kading also checking in for Trayvon Wright. Good defense there for Kading as he was guarding Benneman out of bounds. There's a look at Pat Scarry in his 3rd season. Spent some time as an assistant with Jamie Dixon at Pittsburgh, brought a lot of those philosophies here to Towson.
Certainly a coach you have to respect with a team that was 1-31, able to get things turned around as quickly as you have, and the players really seem to be buying into his philosophy.
Kading inside for a minute. Good job by Benneman stepping in front. And Benneman leading the break, and this is what he'll do. Wheels and deals. He had it taken away by Alexander, and they're going to whistle Lawrence Alexander for his first foul.
It's not often that the Bison are going to see a guy 6'8" with this type of ability to put the ball on the floor. As you see LA get a little bit too much arm, not enough ball there. Benneman's ability to put the ball on the floor, he can bring it up, be that secondary ball handler, be that point guard that they need to maybe curb their turnover problem a little bit.
Walter Foster in the game, as is Jordan Auber, number 44 for North Dakota State. Burwell working around Felt. Nice little scoop shot, but missed it. Felt picks it up, and here comes Braun. Driving inside. Finishing with the left hand. Nice move for Taylor Braun, finding an opening and slicing in.
He was looking to pass, and he realized there's no one between him and the basket. Be able to put it to the deck, get to the rim in a hurry, finishing with the left hand.
Benneman screening for Damas. Now Burwell. Tried to find Foster inside, off his hands and out of bounds.
Take a look at the replay. You're able to see Taylor Braun go, nope, I'm going to go straight to the bucket. You saw his acrobatic layup last week. He's able to finish in a variety of ways. Nice left-hand layup there.
Nodak Mutual Insurance replay as Mike Felt finds Braun, had a look for 3, passed it up and gave it up to Felt. Shot fake, and then a 3. Off the rim, no good. Braun high for the rebound, but corralled there by Foster. Guthrie to Damas. Sliding inside, he missed, got his own rebound. Back up and in. First 2 for Marcus Damas. Offensive rebound critical for Towson. That's what they do. Hit the whole glass very hard, Jamal.
Certainly, especially Damas. He's the aggressive one inside. Kind of a streaky jump shooter, but when he's able to work underneath the rim, he's a lot more effective when he sets up on the perimeter.
Braun for 3. That's off the back of the rim, no good. Foster, another rebound for Towson. Benneman sliding inside. Tough shot, no good. Good box out there by Felt. Taken by Alexander. Alexander driving in, and a blocking foul is going to be called. I think they're going to get Burwell his first.
Some young officials tonight, you have to wonder how much contact are they going to let the players play through. A lot of bumping down there on the defensive end for the Bison against the Tigers. Towson not as fortunate. They get called for a blocking foul on this end of the floor.
Auberg, Alexander, and Braun will all take a seat. Carlin Dupree will make his first entrance into the game, and Bjorklund and Corey Brown also back in for North Dakota State.
Dupree, the backup point guard from Milwaukee, getting better with every single game. Missed some time with an elbow injury, but you can see what type of player he can be for the Bison as he continues to grow.
And Dupree, the primary ball handler, with Braun and Alexander off the floor. Felt, quick trigger for 3. Nice block there as Raphael Guthrie got up high.
Let's go scary.
Very animated.
Guthrie's a great glue guy. He does all the little things, a lot of hustle, a lot of strength as well.
Guthrie, kind of a wild shot, was looking for a foul. Kading open for 3 on the wing. And Kading just off the mark. Rebounded again by Burwell, and Towson looking to push. Damas, quick trigger for 3. Yes, he rattles it home. 3-pointer, first of the night for Towson, and they got the lead back at 13-12.
able to step into that one and shoot it comfortable. And the Bison haven't had their perimeter game going. Other than Taylor Braun's first attempt, they've been a little bit cold from the outside.
Yorkland looking to wheel and deal. Boy, tough move around the double team and muscle through it.
How many times you heard Saul Phillips say, when the outside shot's not falling, throw it into Marshall, he'll take care of everything.
So back and forth we go here in the first half. Almost 8 minutes gone in the first half, and the Bison lead it by 1. Guthrie inside to Damas, going to work on Dupree. Almost shuffled the feet, but held on to it. Foster lost the ball to Bjorklund. Nice job there defensively, also by Mike Feltz. Brown working inside, and he is fouled. 2 more free throws coming up for Corey Brown. But before those free throws, we will take a timeout. On the Shield scoreboard, it's 14-13, North Dakota State leading. Welcome back inside the Bison Sports Arena. This will be the final year in the Bison Sports Arena as we know it. Recently, a $41 million renovation was approved by the state legislature, and there's a look at what it likely will look like.
The Sanford Health Athletic Complex.
In a couple of years. I know Saul Phillips really excited about that. Towson actually has a brand new facility as well, a $68 million facility. And this is their first year in that new building, Jamal. And boy, what a beautiful facility that looks like as well.
We saw pictures of it this afternoon, and it's amazing when you look at that. You look at the new Sanford Health Athletic Complex, you see how important new facilities are to maintaining the competitive edge in college athletics.
Brown 2 of 2 from the line. And Brown, a very good free throw shooter, right around 80%. Extends the Bison lead to 3. John Davis into the game for the first time as Raphael Guthrie drives inside, and it was blocked there by Corey Brown.
Raphael has a tendency to put his head down and just go straight ahead, not really have a feel or a touch once he gets around the rim. He's more of a bulldog in that aspect, where he is able to get to the rim a lot, but once he gets there, he runs into some problems. A lot of contact there he played through.
And there's the first 3 for McGlynn, a transfer from Vermont. Was actually the America East Player of the Year as a freshman. Transferred here his first year. Now playing with Towson. Leads this team in 3-point shooting.
He can definitely fill it up from the outside.
Tied at 16 as Marshall Bjorklund goes to work. Cut off and muscles inside. Good muscle inside by Bjorklund. He's got 8 points here in the first half.
And against this lineup with Towson, it's like we mentioned at the start, you're wondering who's going to check Marshall on that end of the floor. Who's checking Benjamin down there? They're doing a good job on Benjamin, but Marshall's able to get his on offense.
Guthrie cut off by Brown. And now Benjamin on the wing. Trayvon Wright singled up on him, and Benjamin wheels and deals. Little floater off the rim, no good. Offensive rebound by John Davis, and he's fouled.
It's on the Bison to put a man on each and every shot attempt for Towson. Once the shot goes up, don't worry about the rebound. You have to box out. This team will kill you on the offensive glass. You take a look at the rebound here. They get second and third chances. That's how they get you in foul trouble and get to your bench. And they've been able to draw a couple of key fouls on NDSU in the first half.
Towson 5 offensive rebounds already here tonight, and it's led to 7 second chance points. Davis knocks down the first free throw, just a 57% free throw shooter. But so far, Towson perfect from the line.
That's how you hang around in games like this. Can't afford to miss free throws, can't afford to miss layups. Towson's played numerous teams close, but if they can knock down these free throws throughout the rest of the game, be exactly where they want to be in the second half.
Davis 2 of 2 from the line as we take a look at Mike Burwell coming back into the ball game. Starting 5 on the floor here for North Dakota State as they tick down towards 10 minutes to go here in the first half. They're going to get Lawrence Alexander for pushing off on Raphael Guthrie. Second foul on Alexander. Excuse me, they're going to get Braun for the foul, not Alexander. So first on Taylor Braun, just the 4th team foul for North Dakota State. For McGlynn. Gets it out to Burwell, who's cut off there by Lawrence Alexander.
Kick ball out of bounds.
Interesting talking to the North Dakota State coaches that, you know, they want to talk about with Benneman when they're defending Benneman, Jamal, is don't give him a lot of court to work with. Make sure you shrink those gaps and get down inside and help.
And it's tough because if you give him too much space, he'll step back and drain the jumper. All he needs is an inch, and he gets up and he has a quick release.
Benneman, nice crossover on right in his mug, but boy, great shot there by Benneman. Tough jump shot.
Case in point, there wasn't that much space between he and Trayvon Wright, and he was still able to elevate and get a shot away.
Towson back ahead by 2. Braun to Trayvon Wright. Little fadeaway jumper from about 12. Marshall Bjorklund the offensive rebound, and he's fouled. I think they're going to get, yes they are, Parker Rivera.
And he was in position. He just jumped a little bit too quick for that rebound opportunity. He was there. That was his ball. He got off his feet a little too quickly, and Marshall was in the right place at the right time.
Parker Rivera picking up his second foul. Bjorklund good on his first free throw attempts. Marshall shooting just 56% from the line compared to 69% from the field, but Coach Saul Phillips hoping that will improve here as the season goes along.
And I think we'll get more attempts because he's been able to outmuscle a lot of his opponents this year. Some teams have had the 6'7", 6'8", 6'9" guys who might be able to hang with him size-wise. But there aren't many teams in the country who have a guy off the bench or on their starting 5 who are as strong as Marshall Bjorklund.
Bjorklund 2 of 2 from the line. Chris Kading back in the lineup for North Dakota State. And Foster also making his way back into the game as Parker Rivera will hit the bench with 2 fouls. Benneman wheeling and dealing. For McGlynn for another 3. That rattles out. Good job there by Kading. Boxing out Benneman, and they're going to get Benneman for an over-the-back foul.
Good box out by NDSU. You saw Taylor Braun swipe in. When we mentioned active hands on Benneman, making him uncomfortable. When Benneman went to drive, Taylor Braun with the switch, or with the swipe rather, was able to recover in time to contest the shot of For McGlynn.
16 fouls now on Towson, so the North Dakota State Bison will be shooting free throws with every foul from here on out through the rest of the half. Braun thought about the 3, now back into Bjorklund, who works inside. The baby hook over Foster is no good, and Benneman will lead the break again. For McGlynn from way outside. Corey Brown just a little bit late, and McGlynn knocks down his second triple.
That's all he does. For McGlynn only has 4 shots made this year that aren't 3-pointers. He lives behind the arc.
On in the side to Bjorklund again. Kading, now to Alexander, back into Bjorklund. That's where North Dakota State wants to go. Alexander cut off, 8 on the shot clock. And that shot misses everything from Lawrence Alexander. Turnover on North Dakota State.
Very ugly offensive possession for the Bison. Credit the Tigers for that. They're able to extend their defense, cause a little bit of pressure. Saul Phillips isn't really happy about that last possession. Here come the subs.
Carlin Dupree back into the game for Braun, and Jordan Auberg for Marshall Bjorklund.
I mentioned For McGlynn only has all but 5 shots, rather, have been 3-pointers this year, and he was the leading scorer for Vermont off the bench. The only player in the NCAA to lead his team in scoring while being a 6th man.
Let's not forget, Vermont went to the NCAA tournament that year and actually won a game in the tournament that year he was there. Benneman again checked by Kading. Tough matchup. Swatted away. Ball is loose. Jump ball will go to North Dakota State, so that will be another turnover on Towson. And some of those Bison guards came digging down and forcing the turnover. On the Shield scoreboard, Towson leads at 23-20. Back with more first half action from the Bison Sports Arena. Happy holidays to all those that are getting ready to spend some time with some family and friends this weekend. And yeah, 1,000 of those hats that young lady is wearing right there were handed out to the first 1,000 fans here at the Bison Sports Arena. Excuse me, young man today.
What better way to spend your holiday season than stuffing your face with popcorn at the BSA?
Mike Felt back in the ball game. Taylor Braun had a look for three. Passed up the look. Nice feed inside of Bjorklund, who was swatted away. Nice job there by Benneman coming on the help side.
He is everywhere for Towson right now. Nice interior defense by Carlin Dupree, denying the ball inside, making him really work for the ball.
They like to post up Burwell, even though he's a point guard. That's who they like to post up. Inside pass was looking for Foster. That was knocked away. Dupree gets it to Felt, to Trayvon Wright. Now Bjorklund going to work. Nice move inside, but he shuffled the feet.
A little bit too quick with the shoes. Patient possession by NDSU. Making sure Marshall gets his touches. Mike passed up on the shot to get it to Marshall a couple of times. Not going to see him turn it over too many times, though.
Towson holding the Bison to just 35% shooting so far here in the first half. For McGlynn, guarded there by Felt, two three-point sharpshooters right on each other.
Pat Scarry really compared for McGlynn to Mike Felt and said their games are similar. They play a lot of the same type of style, especially with their catch and shoot abilities.
Almost another turnover. Now Benneman's going to go to work on Wright. Nice move. And a foul is going to be called as Foster came flying in for the offensive rebound.
The way Benneman's bouncing off of contact, he's making this look really easy. There could have been a foul called here on Trayvon Martin. You take a look at the replay. Benneman just goes in there strong, gets to the rim, no call, but Trayvon a little bit late on the help. Picks up the foul.
Trayvon Wright, the senior from Waterloo, Iowa. And some highlight reel dunks on Monday night here against Delaware. Foster will toe the line. First free throw is good. Foster just a 42% free throw shooter, but so far Towson cashing in all their opportunities from the line here in the first half. 5 of 5 from the line. Again, Foster, one of those freshmen that were brought in. When Pat Scarry took over, got this program, there were a lot of APR issues with Towson. Most of their team had left or was told to leave. He had 2 returning players, had to bring in a whole bunch of new guys. Again, the 1-31 year turned into 18-13. He's done a marvelous job here in his 3rd year at Towson.
You get a lot of transfers that way. When you get a lot of those holes, you have to rely on JUCO guys and guys who aren't fitting in at their D1 programs. And he's been able to make the pieces mesh for the Tigers.
First miss from the line tonight for Towson. Trayvon Wright with the defensive board. Trayvon Wright, he also thought about 3. Trayvon open from the wing. That was tipped. Bjorklund rips it down, and he is fouled on the play. I think they're going to get Damas.
Strong rebound there by Marshall. He's able to get that ball in his hand, snatch that one down, and goes right back up. Take a look at the replay after the block shot that you mentioned. Marshall rips it away and goes up strong and gets fouled on the hand on the way up.
Benneman really closed out there on Trayvon Wright, who gets up very high on that jump shot. That shows you his versatility getting out on the perimeter.
You're not going to see too many guys this season, 6'8", 245, with the quickness to blow by you, the handles to bring the ball up the floor, and yet the versatility and the footwork to live on the block like Benneman does. Shooting nearly 50% this year and not taking too many threes, so he's getting to the bucket at will.
Corey Brown back into the game for Mike Felt. John Davis getting set to check back in. Bjorklund 1 of 2 from the line. The Towson lead is back to 3. Damas will take a seat with his 2 fouls. So 2 starters here for Towson with 2 fouls, Parker Rivera and Damas. Davis wheels and deals inside. Loose ball picked up by Benjamin. He scores.
Nice little subtle push by Benjamin around the basket, able to use his hands and get away with a little shove in the back. Get the offensive putback for 2.
Trayvon Wright was looking inside. Taylor Braun driving. Little floater. Couldn't get it to go, but he's fouled by Raphael Guthrie. First foul on Guthrie. Braun will get 2 free throws. Nodak Mutual Insurance replay.
He's been quiet, as I mentioned. He had the made 3, he had the transition bucket. You'd like to see Taylor get some opportunities here in the half court. Maybe this free throw can get his offensive game going. Talked about the 30-plus point effort he had against Delaware. You know how important Taylor Braun is to the Bison offense.
Braun, an excellent foul shooter, as is this North Dakota State team, shooting 74% from the line this season. Braun right around 80%. 1 of 2 on this trip.
Rebound, Benjamin. Head of steam down the floor. 16 boards to 11 for the Tigers. That's their game all day.
Turnover there as North Dakota State corrals another one, and Braun is going to attack, and he's fouled again. Davis picks up the foul. Braun back to the line for 2 more free throws. First foul on Davis.
Maybe those free throws did spark Taylor as he comes down the court and sees his opening and gets right back to the free throw line for an opportunity for 2 more.
Taylor Braun, the final signee of the 2008 signing class at North Dakota State out of Newburgh, Oregon. His recruiting period lasted all of 2 weeks. Got him very late in the game. Had nothing but Division II offers outside of North Dakota State. Came in at the last minute, made him an offer, and Saul Phillips said he accepted that offer as soon as he got it. Here he is at NDSU.
How much has he developed? He's put on weight. He's gotten stronger. His defense has gotten a lot better. He could score with the best of them when he walked in here, but his all-around game has progressed so well that earned preseason Summer League Player of the Year accolades this year.
Braun 1 of 2 from the line there, 2 of 4 here in the first half, and the Towson lead is still 3. Burwell working off a high screen. Benjamin driving baseline on Trayvon Wright, cut off.
Nice D by Trayvon.
Almost threw it away. Now Benjamin again. Going to work, boy. Strong move inside and tough fadeaway jumper for Benjamin.
When you can get a shot up and over Trayvon Martin, who can jump over the backboard, it seems, you're doing something. Right, excuse me, Trayvon Wright.
Alexander. Braun, quick trigger for 3. That's off the mark, no good. The Bison just 1 of 8 from 3-point range here in the first half as Braun misses another. Benjamin going to work. Crossover dribble, step back, yes.
He's feeling it now. He's cooking. We'll see if NDSU makes an adjustment in the way that they guard him, because once he brings the ball up the floor, it's hard to switch at that point.
Benjamin has 10 points here in the first half, and Towson, their largest lead of the night, leads by 7. Barrington Alston in the game picks up his first foul, and Braun will have 2 more free throws. On the Shields scoreboard, Benjamin, some fancy footwork. Shooting the ball nice. 10 first half points. Towson leads it 30-23. Towson leading at 30-23 on the Shields scoreboard. And that Tiger defense holding North Dakota State, one of the top shooting teams in the country, at 50.7%, shooting just 32% here in the first half.
And they've gone ice cold from deep. They are just 1 of 9, I believe, from 3-point range so far in the first half of this one. And that one was a contested shot by Taylor Braun.
8 first half points now for Taylor Braun. And now 9. Lead back to 5 for Towson.
NDSU has to pick up that intensity on defense. They had it for the first 10 minutes, first 15 minutes of the first half. Everything was going their way on defense, but they have to pick it up here on this end of the floor.
And Burwell will just launch for 3. That's no good. A couple of Bison players, Braun and Brown, there for the rebound, and Taylor Braun will bring it back here for North Dakota State. Bjorklund guarded by Foster. Little baby hook inside with the right hand, and Marshall Bjorklund has another field goal. Marshall with 13 here in the first half to lead North Dakota State.
Slowing the game down, getting the tempo back the way they want it, controlling things. That's NDSU's offensive game plan to close the first half.
Burwell drives, swatted away. Trayvon Wright ends up with the steal. Good defense there by Alexander. Bjorklund back to her, quick move. And nice little baby scoop. Benneman wants to travel, but it's 2 more for Bjorklund, who's having a huge first half. 15 in the game now for Marshall.
You saw this spurt against Delaware where the Bison just turned it into another gear toward the end of the first half. Looking the same here against Towson.
Benneman. Crossover dribble, spins, cut off. Foster from the baseline. That's short. Rebounded by Wright. Here comes Braun looking to push. Corey Brown leaves it for Bjorklund. 2 more. It's an 8-0 run for North Dakota State.
Pat Gary wants a timeout, talk things over. Nothing to talk about if you're NDSU. Keep giving the ball to number 42. He's working magic down on the block.
Marshall Bjorklund, 17 of North Dakota State's 31 points here in the first half. The senior ag major from Arlington, Minnesota.
It's what he knows, isn't it? Certainly familiar with the agricultural world.
Thanks for joining us here on this broadcast. Brian Shaw, Jamal Spencer with you from the Bison Sports Arena in Fargo. Good basketball game here in the first half. Towson just a moment ago had a 7-point lead, and now North Dakota State with an 8-0 run to take the lead back.
During the timeout, you and I talked, Brian, about what NDSU could do to get back in this game. We mentioned the Delaware performance where they turned defense into offense, got some fast break buckets, were able to get to the free throw line, execute in the half court, and that game kind of blew up from there, and they kind of had their comfortable lead into the half. It seems they've been able to carry that game plan into tonight against Towson late here in the first half.
Burwell will bring it down as we tick under 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Guthrie to McGlynn. Now he goes to Benneman. Step back, little baby fadeaway jumper. Boy, nice move again by Benneman, who shows great feet there.
Nice answer by Towson. Put the ball in your best player's hands and have him give you a basket there. He's having a strong first half as well.
12 first half points for Benneman, and the 2 big men inside having their way. Trayvon Wright from the elbow. That rims off. Rebounded by Burwell.
2-3 look extended for Towson on defense. See how much of that they were in the second half.
Benneman shoots the 3. That rims out. Rebounded by Taylor Braun. Corey Brown can't find what he likes. Gets it to Taylor Braun. Trayvon Wright. As North Dakota State will take their use it or lose it timeout here with 42.4 seconds to go here at the half. We'll have a word with NDSU head coach Saul Phillips, get his thoughts here on the first half. Immediately following will be the Proceed halftime report, including our Proceed shootout. Look at Taylor Braun, the senior from Newburgh, Oregon. 18 points a game average. The Summit League preseason player of the year. North Dakota State, of course, picked to win the Summit League. And Towson, the #1 pick to win the Colonial this year after posting 12 league wins in 2012 and 13. A challenging schedule certainly for Towson. Oregon State went way out to the West Coast. Fought hard, came up about 11 points short to the Beavers, dropping them to 7-5. As a matter of fact, Towson undefeated at home this year, 7-0, but they have yet to win a road game, 0-5. Trayvon Wright up high is fouled by Burwell. He was looking to bring the house down with a big finish. Trayvon Wright will head to the line. He's scoreless tonight. And the team fouls piling up here for Towson. Burwell went up high, and Wright clobbered. We'll get a couple of free throw attempts. First free throw attempt for Wright is good. Trayvon shooting about 65% from the line this season. Second free throw rattles home. Trayvon Wright 2 for 2 from the line. Chris Kading into the game for Wright. And Barrington Alston will also take a seat as Davis checks back in for Towson. Bison lead it by 1. Final possession here of the first half. Guthrie will pull it out here as we tick under 20 seconds to go here in half number 1. Benneman sets the screen. Guthrie inside. Throws it up, no good. 4 seconds, 3 seconds. Braun pushing. Will take it in. Gets it to go off the glass at the horn. And the Bison take a 3-point lead into the locker room. Taylor Braun finishing with the little scoop shot. And so far it's been the seniors, Taylor Braun and Marshall Bjorklund, leading the way for North Dakota State. 35-32 on the Shield scoreboard. Jamal Spencer is standing by with Saul Phillips.
All right, so I'll talk about Marshall Bjorklund's first half. 17 points and had a lot of answers for you guys offensively.
Yeah, and they were coming at him pretty good. He was finishing through bodies. It wasn't like he was just getting layups, but a good start for him. Boy, that Benneman's a load, isn't he?
His versatility on full display out here. How are you going to guard that in the second half?
Going to keep trying to wait. You know, we've done some good things against it. We've gotten a couple steals on it. That fadeaway is tough to double. It just is. You got to keep working, keep trying to get stops any way you can.
All right, thanks a lot, Coach.
You bet.
Back to you, Brian.
It's time now for the Proceed 25-second series shootout. Within 25 seconds, one lucky participant must make these shots in this order: a layup, at the free throw line, at the three-point arc, and lastly, a shot from beyond half court. If successful, the winner could receive $10,000. For a complete list of contest rules and the broadcast schedule, visit valleynewslive.com. If you'd like to register for a chance to win, join us at the next televised Bison basketball game.
Wins $10,000. Now, Waylon, you've got to take one dribble before shooting the layup. After that, it's up to you. But only one try at the half-court shot. So, crowd, are you ready? Waylon, are you ready? We'll start the clock on your first shot. Remember to dribble first. One down. Nice. Waylon, three-point shot. Got 15 seconds. Hustle, hustle, 10 seconds. Oh, just a little short. Come on, Waylon, make this three-pointer. Here we go. Thanks to Waylon for being such a great sport and participating in the KVOY Halftime Shootout Series. A reminder, fans, be sure and sign up for the NDSU marketing table on the south side of the arena. All future televised games for your chance to win $10,000 at Bison basketball this season. Way to go, Waylon.
Turn up my mic. Let's take a timeout. 35-32, and the Proceed halftime report is coming up next. Proceed halftime report. Jamal Spencer standing by with Keith Peltier from Proceed.
This one got a lot closer. Oh. Thanks, Brian. I'm here with Keith Peltier from Proceed. I want to say Merry Christmas to you, Keith.
I do. You know, I got all these guys walking on with Santa hats, so it's a great time to say Merry Christmas to everybody and get in the spirit of this time of year.
And I know you always have a few ag facts that you want to share with us.
One fact. Well, remember when I told you one farmer feeds 156 people, spend less than 10% of their income on food? Mm-hmm. Did you know that on a box of Wheaties, Tiger Woods gets more out of the pitcher than the American farmer does for the wheat that's in there?
I'd be lying if I said I knew that.
That's one fun fact for you.
Tell us a little bit about the Right Choice program.
Right Choice, we've talked about that before, but we've got the Right Choice program. If you plant 3 of our varieties, corn, soybeans, sunflowers, or canola, and do the right amount of the stuff, we get you some DeWalt power tools. So making the right choice with Pro Seed varieties, giving you the right choice with some DeWalt power tools.
All right, sounds like a plan. Thanks
Yes.
a lot, Keith. Appreciate you joining us.
You're welcome.
Hopefully the Bison have a strong second half here at the BSA, and we'll have more on the Pro Seed halftime report when we return.
Welcome back to the Bison Sports Arena. NDSU leads Towson by 35-32, the score. Welcome back to the Pro Seed halftime report. Brian, Sean, Jamal, Spencer joining you from the Bison Sports Arena tonight. We'll take a look at some of our first half highlights. And it was kind of a back and forth first half here, Jamal, and Marshall Bjorklund. Obviously the go-to guy for NDSU early and often.
Give him the ball early and often. We mentioned one possession or one touch per possession. He's able to control it inside. He was 7 of 10 from the floor in that first half. There you see the lone three by Taylor Braun. He was able to get it going from the outside, but Benneman on the other end from Towson, he was an absolute beast.
Yeah, he really was. There's for McGlynn. He had a couple of three-pointers. Good catch and shoot guy, and there's a pair of those threes that he had in the first half. And then Braun, nice passing inside as Brown found Bjorklund. 17 first half points for Marshall Bjorklund. And then, as you mentioned, Jamal, Benneman, really a beast.
Man, 12 points on a variety of ways. You saw him bring the ball up the floor. He crashed the offensive glass. He had some tough shots over Trayvon Wright. Unbelievable player.
The two big men. The story here in the first half. North Dakota State leads at 35-32. Back with more of the Pro Seed halftime report after this. Welcome back to the Pro Seed halftime report. Bison lead it by 3 as we tick down to under 5 minutes to go here into the second half. Towson back on the floor as we look at some of the fans here from North Dakota State getting ready to celebrate the holidays. That little guy having a good time, and that guy not having such a good time. It's all right, buddy. It's all right, buddy. Santa's still coming in a few days. May not get his popcorn, but he's going to get his presents, I'm sure.
That's all that matters for sure, for him especially.
Let's take a look at some of our first half stats. And really, when you look at them, Jamal, very even. The shooting percentage is almost identical. The free throw percentage is almost identical. The big discrepancy are the turnovers and the rebounding.
And we pointed to the rebounds coming into this game. It bears repeating. The Tigers live on the offensive glass. Of those 21 rebounds that they have, 14 on the excuse me, 7 of them on the offensive side of the ball. So they're cleaning up on the offensive glass and making NDSU pay with second chance points.
Jarrell Benneman certainly had a nice first half. Everything we thought he would be. 6 of 12 from the field. He's got 12 points to go along with 5 rebounds. So he's looking right on his averages. The Colonial Player of the Year.
Walking double-double.
Yeah, he really is. And Marshall Bjorklund, also a huge first half. And we'll see what Towson does to combat that here in the second half. 17 points for Marshall Bjorklund. The Bison lead it by 3. We'll be back to wrap up the Pro Seed halftime report after this timeout. All right, Coach. Back and forth first half. Marshall Bjorklund kind of the focus for them. How do you combat him here in the second half and take him out of the game?
Yeah, he's really good. It's hard. We've got to do a better job of making that extra slide, not letting him get to his left shoulder, but he's obviously terrific, and then you got to hope potentially a couple travels get called.
And how do you get players other than Benneman involved here in the second half?
Well, we got to continue to share the ball with too many turnovers. We got to drive the kick, and then we got to continue to. Some guys first have to continue to get on the glass. That's where we score best. So I think, a good game up until the last 3 minutes. Didn't like how we finished the half. These first 5 minutes for us are going to be key here on the road.
Coach, thanks for the time. Good luck.
Good luck in the second.
Thanks to Pat Scarry for joining us for a quick chat as his team looks to overcome a 3-point deficit here in the second half. And it'll be curious to see what other players get involved from both sides. I mean, Taylor Braun certainly and Marshall Bjorklund for North Dakota State, but who else steps up here from Towson in the second half?
For Towson, no other player on this team has more than 4 field goal attempts other than Jarrell Benneman. Obviously, he's been the guy. He's 6 of 12 from the floor. You have to find a way to get other guys shots so they can knock them down. Just give them opportunities. And for McGlynn's a guy that can do it in a hurry. For the Bison, as you mentioned, it's been the Marshall Bjorklund show down the stretch. I'm curious to see if Taylor Braun can find his offensive stroke and what Lawrence Alexander can do here in the second half.
Of course, Pat Scarry, they predicate themselves on defense and rebounding. We've seen that here tonight. Tough road trip certainly for Towson. If you look at Jarrell Benneman, coming off the game at Oregon State on Wednesday night, an 11-point loss. North Dakota State coming off a 19-point victory over Delaware, another Colonial opponent.
Coach Scarry also told us that his team hasn't exactly played consistently on the road this year. When you look at that first half for Towson, everything went right for them for the most part. You want to continue to do that in the second half. They can't get away from that formula, but you have to find a way to get other players shots here early on.
Towson will have the ball first here, trailing by 3, just underway in the second half from Fargo. Benjamin checked by Wright, spins inside, goes up, nice reverse with the right hand, and Jarrell Benjamin picks up where he left off. And he's got 14 points.
I guess what's the worry in giving other people shots if your main guy is getting his buckets, and that's what's proven to be the case for Benjamin so far.
I'm real impressed with his footwork. That's the big thing for a big guy. Really does a nice job.
There's a walk and the second travel of the game for Marshall Bjorklund. Speaking of footwork, he shuffled his shoes. The coaches talked about Benjamin, and they tried to compare his game to a player that the NDSU's players would understand, and they mentioned Carmelo Anthony as that versatile guy who can get by with shots on the perimeter, but still effective enough in the post. When he was at Syracuse, Carmelo was a dual threat just like this.
Damas checked by Brown. Damas a very quiet first half. Benjamin. Fadeaway, tipped by Wright, and they're going to get Trayvon Wright for the foul. Second foul on Trayvon. Benjamin will head to the line for 2 more free throws. Nodak Mutual Insurance replay.
Earlier in the game, he was able to get up over Trayvon Wright and get that shot to go over the outstretched arms. There, Trayvon not able to get enough spring in his legs and couldn't get to the ball. All wrist there as Benjamin steps to the free throw line yet again.
Benjamin does everything so well, and again, he's a good free throw shooter too. 74% from the line. Knocks down the first. That one rims off. Brown brings down the rebound, and we're tied up at 35. 1 minute gone here in the second half.
There's Marshall on the block one more time.
Bjorklund up fake, now dishes off to Trayvon Wright. 2-hand slam for Trayvon.
I believe his head was at the rim again. Trayvon gets up so fast, and he can jump out the gym in a hurry, folks.
All started from that up fake from Bjorklund. Got Parker Rivera up in the air, and that broke everything down.
Hopefully that gives the crowd some life here in the second half.
And Benjamin shuffled the feet. That'll be a turnover on Towson. And Benjamin really likes that left block, doesn't he? Almost every time he posts up, that's where he goes.
That's where he's setting up. Look at another replay of Trayvon getting into the lane. You can see him cutting hard to the hoop here. Throwing it down with 2 hands.
Braun off a cut. And he's fouled, and Trayvon Wright was there to finish up just in case, but Taylor Braun will head back to the line for a couple more free throws. And Braun really attacking tonight, Jamal.
That's his MO. Get to the lane, make things happen. He can finish through contact, even at 6'7" and just 210. He's strong enough to withstand the contact and finish with either hand at the bucket. And he can hit spot-up jumpers, but when he's slashing and creating for his teammates, that's when he's at his best.
Raphael Guthrie will check in and replace Burwell. As Braun knocks down his first free throw. Taylor Braun 5 of 7 from the free throw line tonight. Six of 8. Braun's up to 13 points, and the Bison lead is 4.
See if Benjamin goes right back to that left block. I think he's got it every time they've had the ball here.
High screen, Guthrie to Damas. He works off a screen from Benjamin and almost lost the basketball. McGlynn drives, cut off. Damas pulls the trigger on the wing for 3. Yes.
Lawrence Alexander's got to contest that shot a little bit harder, a little bit faster. Get that hand up in the shooter's face and make him think twice about firing away from the outside.
Damas his second 3. And I think they're going to get Benjamin, as he was trying to block off Trayvon Wright on the baseline.
I believe that's his second.
Yep. His second personal foul, second team foul. Braun driving inside. He draws the foul on Damas and finishes off the window.
I think the Bison caught Towson in a little bit of confusion there. They wanted to change the defensive play at the last minute. They weren't sure of the alignment, weren't sure of the set that they were in, and Taylor Braun smelled blood, went straight to the rack.
Damas picks up his third foul, and as you mentioned, Pat Scarry, we could hear him screaming out, "I don't want that." And by the time the inbound pass was made, it was too late.
And you get a three-point opportunity, but NDSU controls the offensive rebound, and they get a chance for more buckets.
Trayvon Wright is the one that tipped it back out. Trayvon, little scoop in the lane, that rims off, and Benjamin grabs the rebound. McGlynn, way outside for three. Yes.
Jeez.
How about the range from 4, McGlynn? 4 has 3, and that's his third three-pointer. Braun, baseline jumper for 2 is good. And Taylor Braun, a strong start to the second half. He's got 17.
It seems that no matter what happens in the first half for Taylor Braun, the second half is when he tries to attack, be a little more assertive and a little bit more aggressive. And out the gate, he's been doing that for NDSU.
Damas. Glenn had a little room there, didn't pull the trigger. 10 on the shot clock. Parker Rivera, fouled by Brown, and lays it in for 2 more. Parker Rivera, his first 2 here in the second half.
Good patience by Towson. Ran this play throughout. Multiple looks for the Tigers, and they were able to get somebody slashing to the rack to finish. And a little bit slap on the wrist for Corey Brown.
Second foul on Brown, and Parker Rivera had 6 early points in the game, and then got a little bit of a foul trouble situation. Picked up the bucket here. Parker Rivera knocks it down, finishing off the 3-point play. And Towson grabs the lead back at 44-43.
Back and forth, back and forth. This is the close type of game I think you and I thought this would be, Brian. When we looked at the schedule, saw what type of team the Tigers are.
Braun out to Alexander, deep 3-pointer. Yes! And Lawrence Alexander has his first points of the night.
He's been working on that shot so much here in the season. Missed a lot of the offseason with the lower leg injury. Wasn't able to develop like the coaches thought he would. But so far in practice, he has been shooting extra threes every single day.
Guthrie, Damas, drops it off. Parker Rivera, fouled by Bjorklund on the baseline drive. And he'll have 2 free throws coming up when we come back. On the Shield scoreboard, it's 46-44 from the Bison Sports Arena.
Trayvon gets one of these a game, slicing through the rim up high with 2 hands. Always showing off his athleticism there. Underrated as a defender, though, but he gets one of those dunks, it seems, every game.
How easy he makes that look. And that's the part of it to me that I'm just like, geez. You and I could go as hard as we possibly could and we not even come close. He just springs right off the floor.
No, I'd hurt myself. If he jumps as hard as he can, I wonder how high he could get. I think he can get the top of the backboard. I really do.
Parker Rivera misses his first free throw attempt of the night. He's now 3 of 4 from the line. And the second one rims out. Good job by Bjorklund, boxing out. Bison lead it by 2.
Not many opportunities tonight for Mike Felt. Or in the last few games, rather, to be honest. He'll park out on the perimeter and fire away when given the chance.
Alexander will drive. Tough shot. Got it to go on the baseline. Little floater with the right hand from Lawrence Alexander. McGlynn guarded by Felt. Working off a high screen. Benjamin wheels and deals. Another fadeaway off the glass. Nice touch for the big guy. And Benjamin's got 2 more.
I thought he was doing the Bison a favor by drifting out to the perimeter and not setting up on the block like he has, but you saw him put the ball on the floor, drive, turn, had a little bit of patience, and as you mentioned, the touch to finish.
How about that move by Taylor Braun, working on Raphael Guthrie. High off the glass, plus the foul.
He's got 17 in a hurry now. Taylor Braun's caught up, 19, excuse me, caught up with Marshall Bjorklund. He's going off here in the second half. Could be another one of those 30-point nights for Taylor Braun.
Such a tough matchup with his length.
Quickness.
The ability he's able, to dribble the basketball. Certainly his ball handling skills. Tough for a lot of guys that are guarding that three to manage that.
Either you got a guy, as I mentioned, quick enough to stay with him, or he's blowing by the stronger guys.
Boy, quick trigger on the other end for Benneman. Had a good look at it, rimmed out. Grabbed by Braun, and here comes the Bison again. How about that hesitation move? Braun wanted the foul, didn't get it. Kading corrals the loose ball. Bjorklund wheels and deals. How about that little baby hook? And Marshall Bjorklund, a tremendous finish on the baseline, plus the foul.
Nodak Mutual Insurance replay, up and under, wheeling and dealing. Finishing with the right hand. Take another look as you see him pivot, reverse, go up with the right as he's getting fouled, finishing through contact. Marshall Bjorklund is just a strong, strong guy.
Marshall up to 19 points. Braun with 19 points. And nobody else more than 5. It's really been those two guys carrying the offensive load tonight for North Dakota State.
And sometimes you've seen that from the Bison, where if one guy's not scoring, well, where's the secondary scoring coming from? Luckily, Bjorklund and Braun are getting it in bunches, both near 20 points. So it's not really a concern tonight.
Damas and McGlynn will take a seat for Towson as Bjorklund finishes off the three-point play. Burwell back into the game, as is Davis.
Crowd trying to spring to life here. Defensive stop would certainly give them reason to make a little bit more noise.
Burwell drives, drops it off inside, and a big finish for Parker Rivera. Set up well there by Burwell on the high screen.
One of those lengthy guys, tons of size for this Towson team, 6'7", 6'8" across the board. Parker Rivera, one of those 6'7" guys with a lot of athleticism.
Kading posting. Felt had a quick look, then to Bjorklund, to Braun, to Felt. Alexander, a deep three-pointer, yes. And LA's got his second three of the first half. The Bison lead is back up to 8 points tonight.
Saul Phillips loves that shot. Every time LA shoots it, he's got so much confidence in his point guard now. Didn't have it a year ago, but he's put in the work in that shot that everybody knows when he's going up, he's got a shot at it.
Benneman gives it up to Burwell, drives inside. And it's going to be a foul on Mike Felt. Felt picks up his first foul. Just the 4th team foul on North Dakota State, as Jordan Auberg will replace Marshall Bjorklund. And Trayvon Wright
if you're
back in for Chris Kading.
Excuse me. If you're Towson, you got some options. We mentioned getting shots for guys other than Benneman. Well, Parker Rivera has certainly stepped up in the second half. Now you don't have to go through one guy. See how they can break this drought.
Parker Rivera a little raw, but you can see his strength and athleticism inside, certainly. Burwell drives. Kind of a Euro step there as Parker Rivera was swatted. And then right there is Burwell to pick up the loose ball and score.
There's a long 2 steps that he took there to get to the basket.
First 2 of the night for Burwell, who averages 9 a game.
That's scary. Coaching, nonstop action. Won't sit down. He never stops talking.
And Jarrell Benneman is guarding Mike Felt right now with all the switches. Alexander working off a high screen. Dribbles, cut off, lost the basketball, and they're going to get Davis for the foul. Second foul on John Davis.
That's always a gamble by a point guard when you try to split the high zone, and Lawrence Alexander making it pay off, able to maintain the dribble and not turn the ball over, and earned his trip to the free throw line there.
Corey Brown getting set to check back in. Alexander making his first free throw attempts of the night. Alexander knocks in the first. Taylor Braun will take a seat. Another late signee as you take a look at Corey Brown right there, number 22 out of Illinois. was a late signee. Only had 2 offers. North Dakota State and Western Illinois chose the Bison. Ended up starting as a true freshman.
Waiting for that offense to catch up with his defense. The reason he started as a true freshman, one of the best on-the-ball defenders, if not the best on-the-ball defender on this Bison team.
Burwell again working off a screen. Guthrie will launch. And Parker Rivera draws the foul as Aber will be whistled for it. That'll be the first foul tonight on Jordan Aber, the senior from Rothsay.
Marshall and Taylor checking back into the game.
Short break there for Braun. It was only out about 25 seconds in terms of game clock. Mike Felt will take a seat. Burwell will inbound. Benneman. Pulling up. Boy, tough shot.
So smooth.
Jarrell Benneman at 6'7", 250, making it look easy as he uses the screen up high.
He's put on the Naismith watch list this year as one of the 50 best basketball players in college basketball. Showing you why tonight.
Yorkland checked by Parker Rivera. Wheels inside, Alexander. 10 on the shot clock. Brown will drive. Nice spin back to the right side. And Corey Brown lays it in.
See the maturation of Corey Brown rather. Last year, might have rushed that possession, would have shot the ball right when he touched it. Didn't let the shot clock bother him. Was able to grind it down and get a quality layup.
Benneman wheels again, drops it off for Parker Rivera, and taken away by Braun. Here comes the Bison looking to push. Braun with the left, couldn't finish. Pulled down by Benneman, and he'll lead the break again. How many 6'7" centers do you see leading the break?
Nice pass underneath.
Drops it off for Davis, and Davis couldn't finish. Braun will drop it off for Corey Brown, and Brown, athletic move inside, finishes off the window for 2 more, and the Bison lead is 10. Timeout, Towson.
Take a look at the Nodak Mutual Insurance replay as Brown finishing through contact, not getting the call. Doesn't matter, 2 more points for the sophomore.
62-52 on the Shields scoreboard.
Talked about Corey Brown being one of those guys that doesn't fill up the score or the stat sheet maybe with double figures. You won't see him with a lot of 20-point nights or 10 rebounds or 15 assists, but he'll get you 7 and 5 and 5.
There's a look at Corey Brown, and it's a 10-point lead for the Bison on the Shield scoreboard.
Brian, you call it the Euro step. 1, 2. Long steps, and Saul Phillips goes, wait, what? How's that not a travel? His team's responded well, though. They're up by 10 regardless.
Saul Phillips' squad in the top 30 in the RPI right now. Highest the program has ever been.
He absolutely loves this group, too.
Davis off the mark. Parker Rivera was swatted inside. Benneman picks it up. Couple of up fakes, and again it's Benneman carrying the offensive load here for Towson.
Credit to the officials for letting it go, letting the players play through contact. A lot of bodies flying inside. Towson able to finish through contact amidst the chaos.
Benneman a game-high 21. Take under 10 minutes to go here in the second half. Nice little step through there by Taylor Braun. And he finishes in 2 more as Braun held that pivot foot and wheeled around his man.
He hit the deck hard. I know his coaches were a little bit concerned for a split second. You never want to see Braun go down. He's had some injury problems before, but 100% healthy and playing well. There's that left block setup for Benneman.
Benneman going back to work on Trayvon Wright. And they're going to get Corey Brown for the foul on Burwell.
If we could take a look at this, I want to see where Corey Brown's hands were, because I think one hand got the block shot, but I don't know where his left hand was in terms of pushing away on the body or causing a foul here. Take a look at the Nodak Mutual Insurance replay. When Brown goes to close out, there's the jump. His left arm is kind of in the midsection of the shooter there. I can see why the official will be quick to call that. Here's another look at it.
Oh, tough call. 3 shots coming up for Burwell when we come back to the Bison Sports Arena. North Dakota State leads Towson by 10, 64-54. 9:25 to go. We had a good chat with head coach Pat Scarry from Towson today at the Tigers shoot-around. Said he believes North Dakota State is one of those teams that can win a game in March. And when he meant March, he meant the NCAA tournament.
And he said it with such conviction. You knew he was sincere, saying this is not a pushover type of mid-major. This is a team that's going to make some noise here in the NCAAs.
It's very impressed the way they move the ball and space the floor. So they're very tough to defend, and they all shoot the ball so well. They're a very tough matchup for a lot of teams, especially at the mid-major level.
High praise coming from a coach who just played against Temple and Villanova this year and has seen strong guard play and has seen strong perimeter games this year. And said the same with NDSU.
Burwell 3 free throw attempts here, missed his first, just a 44% free throw shooter. Towson as a team is just a hair over 62%, not very good. But tonight they've been pretty doggone good from the free throw line. So 2 out of 3 for Burwell, and the lead for North Dakota State is 8. Bjorklund goes to work. Tough shot. Working on Parker Rivera again, and Marshall Bjorklund up to 22 tonight.
He's got about 40, 50 pounds on Parker Rivera, and he realizes that, and he backed him down. Only took him 2 or 3 dribbles to get to his spot. Marshall sensing the mismatch.
Bjorklund 9 of 12 from the field tonight. Damas working off a screen, curls inside, drops it off for Parker Rivera, who almost lost it. Burwell, an athletic finish with the right hand as he drove inside and finished over Trayvon Wright.
Towson just needs to string together a couple of stops to get back in this game. Can't trade buckets with NDSU at this point.
Bjorklund fouled again by Parker Rivera, and that will be 4 fouls on Parker Rivera, the best post defender on this Towson squad. And Bjorklund will be shooting 1-1. Already 17 fouls here with 8.5 to go in the second half. Foster in the game for Parker Rivera. Carlin Dupree will take a seat as Kading comes back in.
Foster still working into his own, the 6'8" freshman from Atlanta. Has the size, still trying to put together the footwork and the mental aspect of the game to make an impact here for the Tigers. Continue to make an impact, rather.
And Bjorklund misses the front end. Benjamin out to Damas, deep 3-pointer. That's off the rim, no good. Braun rips down another rebound here for North Dakota State. I don't think Pat Scarry liked that shot for Towson as Kading goes strong inside, and he's fouled by Benjamin.
He can't believe that call, especially if it's on Benjamin. There were a couple Tigers there contesting that shot, but that foul is on Benjamin. As you saw Taylor try to lead Chris Kading to the basket. Nodak Mutual Insurance replay here. Yeah, he got him on the wrist. That is a clean foul. Good call by the official.
Might have been more on Damas, actually, than Benjamin, though. It looked like Benjamin was already past the play. Instead, it'll be 3 fouls on Benjamin as Kading gets his first point of the night, knocking down the free throw. Chris Kading, the sophomore. Two for 2 from the line there. The Bison lead back to 10. Burwell uses that little push-off with that off arm and shoots it over Trayvon Wright.
Boy, I tell you, he was getting ready to get yanked out of the game. Things got stagnant. The Tigers weren't moving the ball. There wasn't any flow, but he was able to make that possession count and get a bucket and save himself from substitution.
Burwell 8 points all in the second half for Towson. Bjorklund back to work. Had a good look at it, but missed. Rebounded by Burwell. He looks to push. Drives, cut off. Now Benjamin will set things up at the top. He works off a screen. And Burwell almost lost it on the feed from Benjamin and now drives. And it's going to be the 7th team foul coming up here on North Dakota State, as they're going to get Chris Keating for his first foul. 68-60 on the Shields scoreboard. We'll be back with more from the Bison Sports Arena after this timeout. Saul Phillips has seemed to get more and more animated as the years have gone along.
Yeah, coaching will do that to you. Make you a little bit kookier. His players love it though, and I know he's a big star here in North Dakota State. Everybody loves Saul Phillips.
I don't know if there's a coach I've talked to that is as brutally honest all the time, at least with me, as he is. Just a fun guy to be around.
Had a classic soundbite about the travel that North Dakota State's had so far this year and how they've been wheels up in the air for 30 hours. He said they've been flying on a plane about 30 hours so far this season, and goes, well, it takes 42 to fly around the earth. I know that because I Wikipedia'd it, so it's a fact.
Burwell knocks down the first. He'll get a second here in the 1-on-1 opportunity. Second shot is also good. So Burwell, 4 or 5 from the line here in the second half. And tell you what, Burwell's given them a spark tonight. 10 points in the second half.
Bison crowd trying to come to life, trying to give their team a little bit more energy. 7 minutes to go in this ball game.
Alexander trying to feed Bjorklund. Foster's trying to square him up, and Bjorklund leaves that one short. Rebounded by Foster. And Towson a chance to get back within 4, maybe even 3 on this possession.
That's certainly the guy you want to have the ball in his hands.
Dropped off for Burwell. Uses the screen. Back to Benneman. 2 guys run at him, and they're going to get a foul. I think they're going to get either Bjorklund or Keating.
Looked like Chris Keating on the bump. The second, Benneman put it on the floor, tried to drive. I think Keating got him with a little bit of a bump.
So a 1-on-1 opportunity coming up here for Benneman as we take a look at the Nodak Mutual Insurance replay. And yep,
reached that left arm right across the shoulder and kind of grabbed him. Got caught in no man's land trying to close out. 1-on-1 opportunity for Benneman.
And he rattles that one home. Jarrell Benneman, 2 or 3 from the line tonight.
A legit NBA prospect. This guy's got the handles, he's got the size, he's got the jumper, he's got the footwork. Really impressive basketball player.
Only 22 points, 10 boards. Just another day at the office for number 20. Knocks down the next free throw as well. Now 23 for Jarrell Benneman. And the Bison lead down to 4.
Towson hanging around, knocking down free throws like they have all night. 4-point game.
Bjorklund sets the screen. Alexander drives, kicks out to Braun. Tough shot, hit it. Taylor Braun fading away, moving to his left.
Very rarely does it work out for you when you pass up 2 for 3. LA had a shot at a layup, kicked it out to Braun, who took a step in from 3 to knock down the long jumper.
Burwell drives, cut off, doubled. Now to Benneman. Trayvon Wright trying to square him up. 10 on the shot clock. Pulls up, and Benneman again answers on the other end for Towson. And he's up to 25 now, a game high.
What can you do if you're NDSU? You tip your hat to Benneman. He's making great shots. It's not like the defense isn't there. This guy is making plays.
North Dakota State down to 10 on the shot clock as Alexander crosses over. Drives inside, nice finish for a lay off the glass for 2 more. Lawrence Alexander has really come to life here in the second half. He's got 12 points all here in half number 2.
Hit some long range jumpers, gotten to the bucket, setting up his teammates for jumpers. Being a team leader in the second half.
Burwell drives, throws it up. Guthrie swatted from behind, and they're going to get a foul, and I think it's going to go on Corey Brown. And if it is, it's his 4th. Yes, Corey Brown picks up his 4th foul with 4:48 to go.
When you're playing interior defense, keep your hands straight up. Anytime you bring your hands down, the official's going to whistle that for a foul. Whether you get ball or not, the official's going to believe that to be a foul. Corey Brown had position, and had he kept his body straight up and just been big, he would have been fine there. But when his arms leaned forward a little bit and reached over the top, the official automatically whistles that every time.
Good look at the Nodak Mutual Insurance replay as Guthrie knocks down his first free throw of the night. And it's his first point of the night. And Raphael, averaging 12 a game, has been pretty quiet on the offensive end.
So who's next in this one? Marshall Bjorklund's gone off. Taylor Braun's gone off. Benneman's gone off. Lawrence Alexander springing to life. Who's the next guy to make some plays?
Second shot is off for Guthrie, and the Bison lead is 5. Alexander pulls the trigger. That's off the mark. Here comes Benneman in transition. Benneman wheels and deals. Stopped. Muscles up through 2 Bison defenders and scores. Jarrell Benneman up to 27. And this is as close as Towson's been in quite some time.
The action has certainly picked up here in the last few minutes. Things were a little bit quiet in the early part of the second half, but now we got a back and forth game going now.
As we tick down towards 4 minutes to go here in the game. Bjorklund singled up. Alexander open for 3. Yes! Big answer for Lawrence Alexander. He's got 15 second half points for North Dakota State.
Finally, here comes the crowd. Saul Phillips yelling everybody on their feet. People standing up. Now there's some life in this building.
The student section a little bit light here on winter break, but the ones that are behind us are making the noise. Burwell to Damas. Guthrie trying to find Benneman. Kading hounding him. 9 on the shot clock. Benneman pulls the trigger for 3. That's off the rim, no good. The fight for the rebound, and it's going against Towson.
Pat Scary's got to be careful. He's dangerously close to getting a technical just by being on the court. Almost bumped into the official twice on that Tigers possession. He's got to be a little bit more careful of his court awareness.
Parker Rivera will check in with his 4 fouls. Damas now with 4. And North Dakota State leading by 6 on the Shield scoreboard. Back with the conclusion after this timeout. North Dakota State really struggled from the outside in that first half, but so far here in the second half, 3 of 3 from three-point range, and Lawrence Alexander's hit all 3 of them.
And he stepped into it. As I mentioned, he's a developing shooter, working on that part of his game. He lets go with a lot of confidence, though, and opponents are going to have to honor his three-point ability, and now he's going to have more opportunities to drive by him as they close out a little bit harder.
9 team fouls on Towson, so Taylor Braun will have a 1-on-1 opportunity here as he looks to build on his 23-point performance for NDSU. Parker Rivera and Damas both out on the floor here for Towson with 4 fouls. And Braun misses the front end. Rebounded by Burwell.
I'll tell you, Benneman doesn't really leave the floor for Towson, does he?
I don't think he has left the floor tonight. Burwell working off a high screen. Almost taken away by Braun as Benneman tries to wheel and deal on Trayvon Wright. Boy, nice move, and they're going to whistle him for a travel as he shuffled the feet. Going back to his left.
Battled through a lot of contact, and credit Trayvon Wright for sticking with that one, bodying him up. Trayvon's given up a lot of weight to Benneman, but he stayed with that one, forced him into a travel.
Benneman's the best player we've seen at the Bison Sports Arena in a long time.
Without question, without question.
Bjorklund open, and he's swatted away by Parker Rivera, and he is fouled out of the game, and he is not happy about it.
I don't think anybody on the Tiger defense thought that was a foul. The way they all reacted, it wasn't just Parker Rivera.
Nodak Mutual Insurance replay.
Oh, wow.
Boy, that's
a lot of ball there.
Pretty clean swat for number 15.
Wow.
Timed it perfectly on the baby hook there from Bjorklund. Tough break for Parker Rivera, who's been very active inside. He'll leave the game with 11 points and 4 rebounds. Bjorklund will have 2 shots coming up.
Pat Scarry pleading his case with the official, trying to work him a little bit, trying to gain an edge.
Towson's going to be fine. Just looking at what we've seen tonight, they're going to be tough to beat in the Colonial. The way they play defense and rebound is going to be a tough matchup for pretty much anybody we've seen or heard about in the Colonial. Certainly Drexel's a team that's very well coached, very good defensively. Might come down to those two once it comes to March.
And you might look at this bench and go, they're not very deep, but that size at 6'8", 6'7", 6'6", 6'7", tons of players you can look at, and they are all athletic. They can all jump. And as long as Benneman's out there, they got a shot against anybody in the country with this guy on the court.
Bjorklund 6 of 8 from the free throw line. He's got 24 points to lead NDSU. Burwell drops it off for Damas. 2.5 to go here from the Bison Sports Arena. NDSU leads it by 8. Good look for Guthrie. That's off the rim, no good. And Braun has another rebound.
See if NDSU decides to milk the clock or if they go right at it here.
Bjorklund looking inside for Trayvon Wright. Now Trayvon. Out to Braun, and Guthrie are right on him. Here's the freshman Foster guarding Marshall Bjorklund. No help coming here for Towson. And Marshall Bjorklund flips it up with that right hand.
And Pat Scarry wants a timeout as NDSU goes to the big fellow who comes through one more time. Marshall Bjorklund had the hot hand early. Bison got away from that for a little while. Towson comes back in. Marshall taking his time on the block. Patient with the move. Nobody to pass through. I'll do it myself with a nice jump hook for 2.
And I think Coach Scarry wanted the 3-second call. Very close as Bjorklund was caught in the lane there and had picked up his dribble. And North Dakota State leads it by 10 with 1:44 to go. And North Dakota State looking like they're going to improve to 9-4 and a chance to finish off this non-conference schedule with a game at Utah Valley. They come home to play Mayville State. They could very well be 11-4 by the time they hit Summit League play.
And you can't lull this Bison team to sleep. You want to make this game a grind, they're more than happy to do that. There's a lot of teams in the Summit who play that type of half-court defense to grind you down. They'll play a game in the 50s or in the 60s, and if you want to run and gun, they can do that too. This team is built to play any type of basketball that you want to play.
We'll have 5 more NDSU men's basketball games on either MeTV or on KVLY or across NBC North Dakota Sports Network. As McGlynn, we have not seen him much in the game today, and McGlynn comes right off the bench, finishes off the glass, plus the foul.
He wasted no time on that one. Take a look at the Nodak Mutual Insurance replay. Drives left, stop, pop, all arm. He still finishes through the contact.
Second foul on Lawrence Alexander, and McGlynn. Again, we have not seen much of him here in the second half after three three-pointers in the first half.
And the scouting report says run up on him, take away the shooting space, because you're thinking he's going to shoot the 3, he's going to shoot the 3. Well, if you close out too hard, he drives right by you like he did there in Lawrence Alexander. He does have that in his game, just doesn't use it as often as you think he might.
And McGlynn gets the roll. Nice soft touch for McGlynn. Finishes the 3-point play. He's got 12 on the night, and Guthrie back in. As Towson picks up the full court pressure here as North Dakota State leads by 7. Braun comes back, and he'll turn it up court here for NDSU. And Braun tipped in by Marshall Bjorklund, and Big Marsh up to 28 points here tonight.
Putting on a clinic when it comes to effort. The little things Marshall Bjorklund's doing for the team right now, just as big as his scoring.
Burwell drives, swatted away by Brown, and then Benneman. Big finish with the right hand.
NDSU did everything right on that one except come across with the rebound. Saul Phillips says that's 50%, but here's Bjorklund running the floor, keeping his head up, tipping that one in as he's falling back down. Nice play by the big fella, and as you mentioned, 28 points for Marshall.
Nodak Mutual Insurance replay, and Benneman answers on the other end. Benneman 29 points and 12 rebounds, 13 of 21 from the floor tonight.
NDSU knows that might be the best player they see all year. Take a look at the TV schedule and the rest of the games that we're going to bring you here as Brian said, on MeTV, and of course the big game in conference March 1st with Denver, statewide on the NBC North Dakota Network in high definition.
Have both rival games against South Dakota State, men and women, on MeTV, coming up on the 25th of January and on the 22nd of February. Should be two good matchups. Of course, the Jacks, the two-time defending Summit League champions.
Finally playing without Nate Walters.
And Braun fouled by Burwell. Towson trying to extend the game here, trailing by 7, and Braun a chance to add to his point total. McGlynn will check back into the game.
24, Taylor Braun to the free throw line.
Braun misses another free throw. Taylor
was 4 of 6 from the line in the first half. He was able to knock him down. Second half, as you mentioned, giving him some problems, but with the way he's put the ball in the basket tonight, it's not really hurt him too bad on the scoreboard, is it?
Taylor 6 of 12 from the free throw line, an 80% shooter. He's good there. Now 7 of 13. NDSU leads it by 8 with 1:09 to go. McGlynn trying to find a shot, driving, kicking it out to Guthrie, and Braun picks up the foul, and Taylor Braun whistled for a second.
You can see Towson trying to get for McGlynn the handoff, give him a quick 3 ball. NDSU chasing him around the perimeter, not giving him any looks. Nodak Mutual Insurance, Taylor Braun right on his hip. A little bit of a bump there. That's what the official's saying. A little bit of a push on for McGlynn. Boy. You let some hard fouls go and you call that one.
And I think the officials, they have been consistent on both ends of the floor. It's just been probably a little too ticky-tack for both coaches.
But that's how it's going in college basketball this year. There's that rule change where you can't hand check, you can't bump with the body like you used to. I was talking to Bison assistant coach Fred Coleman and saying that's what defense was. We grew up playing like that to frustrate the opponent. Now you can't even touch a guy. You breathe on a guy, it's a foul.
North Dakota State 30 free throw attempts tonight, and now Towson 23 free throw attempts. Trayvon Wright just gets it in, and Corey Brown was trapped there. A nice job by Davis. And also Barrington Alston on the trap in the backcourt, and they're forced to burn a timeout with 1:01 to go. Just a 30.
NDSU drawing up their press breaker. Didn't work on this too much. Towson's not exactly a team that runs a lot of pressure at you. You see that they have the last couple of minutes here as they try to get back into the game.
Towson exclusively man-to-man. Rarely, if ever, switch out of that.
Had a few 2-3 zone moments earlier today. But you're right, a lot of man coverage, and it's one of the big reasons Marshall's had such a big night. There's no help coming. They leave him one-on-one a lot. He's been burning them.
The two big guns for North Dakota State, Taylor Braun and Marshall Bjorklund. 19 of 31 from the field tonight has really carried that Bison offense.
No matter who the competition, you want your best players to have strong nights. Obviously, Towson's doing that with Benjamin. He's been unbelievable. And the Bison be able to counter with their two-headed monster inside outside with Braun and Bjorklund.
And they're going to get Guthrie for the hold on Braun before the ball was even inbounded. So Raphael Guthrie picks up the foul. His third personal is Damas. And Burwell will check back in here for Towson. Kading will come back in from North Dakota State.
Braun has an opportunity to add to those free throw woes that we were talking about, or improve on them rather. Now we're getting into clutch time.
Knocks that one down. Davis will take his seat with Alston. Substituting offense for defense here is Pat Scarry. Braun misses his second free throw attempt, and here comes Guthrie. Raphael Guthrie gives it up to Benjamin. Tries to wheel and deal on Kading. And good defense there as Corey Brown came to help. And here comes Taylor Braun with the crazy reverse layup with the left and the foul.
if Trayvon gets a dunk a game, he gets a reverse layup a game. Taylor Braun has been able to master this, the body control, the focus, finishing with the offhand as he's fallen to the ground. Acrobatic shots galore by Taylor Braun.
And that will do it for Damas. Picks up his first foul, or his fifth foul, excuse me. So Damas and Parker Rivera, the two Towson Tigers, to foul out of the game.
Mentioned his competitiveness, doesn't let the fact that he had a rough night at the free throw line bother him. He wants the ball in his hands late. When it's time to beat the press, he wants to be the one to bring the ball down the floor. You're not going to find many players more competitive than Taylor Braun.
Damas will finish the night with 8 points and 3 rebounds. Braun a chance to add to his point total. And he does. 28 points tonight for Taylor Braun. For McGlynn, forces it up, off the glass for 2, and for McGlynn. Finding a way offensively. Tough shot for McGlynn, the transfer from Vermont.
Yeah,
banks it in.
If you need a shot from distance, he's the guy. It doesn't matter how tough it is.
Has not played a lot of minutes, but still has 16 points, 5 of 6 from the floor.
He's used to coming off the bench, used to being or he was when he was at Vermont, coming off the bench as a freshman. We led that team in scoring. Transferred to this Towson team, as we mentioned, that was 1-31 when he decided to come here. And that decision's paid off very well for McGlynn.
We haven't talked about it very much tonight, but we probably should. The fact that these two schools will match up in football 2 weeks from today down in Frisco, Texas. Congratulations to both squads. North Dakota State easily over New Hampshire, 56-14. And Towson rallying back from a late deficit with 17 seconds left to win 35-31 to advance to the FCS National Championship game. That will be January 4th at 1 o'clock on ESPN2.
Impressive win in Eastern Washington territory on that red turf that not too many people in this part of the country are fond of. It's a little bit rough on the eyes, but credit to the Tigers for making their way to the national championship game, as you mentioned.
Terrence West having a tremendous year. A finalist for the National Player of the Year, did not win that award, but certainly a guy that easily could have, based on what we've seen from him here in the postseason. Alexander fouled by Guthrie. That'll be the 4th foul on Guthrie, and 2 free throws coming up here for Alexander with just under 35 seconds to go. One player we have not seen on the floor tonight is a freshman for Towson, Marquise Marshall. His father, former NBA player Danielle Marshall, was a 4th overall pick for the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Head coach at Rider University right now. One of the better 3-point shooting big man in recent NBA history. Could stretch the defense as a power forward with range, kind of like Kevin Love does now for the Wolves.
Boy, a huge second half here for Lawrence Alexander. Scoreless at the break. 17 points here in the second half was really the lift NDSU needed to go along with Bjorklund and Braun. Benjamin crosses over, spins, little hook shot. That rims off. Guthrie back up. He finishes with the right hand. Towson still a pulse with 21 seconds to go. Alexander fouled by McGlynn.
Dragging this thing out, giving themselves an opportunity if they can get stops, which they haven't been able to do. The Bison aren't missing these free throws. And that's how they're sticking around. Lawrence Alexander, as you mentioned, with such a strong second half. Not quite sure the Bison are in this position without his three-point shooting ability to give the crowd a little bit of life, to give the Bison that third guy to get them through this game.
That was at Lawrence Alexander's first ever game. Started point guard as a true freshman at the University of San Francisco against USF, a very solid team that Rex Walters had out there. And he was 2 rebounds short of a triple-double in his collegiate debut.
No fear in this kid. He mixes it up with anybody inside. Had 14 rebounds this year against Notre Dame of the ACC.
So Alexander up to 19 now. Burwell fouled by Alexander, and he'll get 3 free throws here with 15 seconds to go. Saul Phillips is not going to like that.
No, the special expression didn't change for a solid 10 seconds after that call.
His third personal foul. To the free throw line for the Tigers, number 23, Mike Burwell.
90 points on the board for the Bison tonight, aided by
28 free throws. Been a big part of it.
Especially in the second half.
Burwell knocks it down. And Burwell was scoreless at the half, and he's really rallied back here. 11 second half points.
Carrington Alston returns.
We'll see if Towson fouls one more time or if they'll let the last 15 seconds tick away. And
knowing Pat Scarry, I bet they're going to foul. They're not going to give up on this thing.
I think you're right.
So Burwell 2 of 3 from the line.
Here's the full court press. Offensive foul on Taylor Braun.
So an offensive foul on Braun, and now Towson, with a made 3 here, could claw back within 5. Guthrie will check in. Alston will sit down.
So you know they're looking for 4 McGlynn here.
Davis will also sit down. 4 McGlynn's got to watch, but Benneman also has that kind of range. We've seen that tonight. And Benneman steps back. It's a long 2. It's off the rim, no good. And Braun has the rebound, no foul, and I think they're going to let this thing dribble out. 5 seconds. 4. And North Dakota State is going to come away with an 8-point victory over the favorites in the Colonial Athletic Association. 90-82 the final. We got some tough choices coming up here for the Nodak Mutual Insurance Player of the Game. As North Dakota State moves to 9-4, they'll head the road and take on Utah Valley, come back here and play Mayville State. And a chance to go into conference play on a winning note. We'll take a timeout and be back with the Nodak Mutual Insurance Player of the Game after this. Bison knock off Towson 90-82 in this big non-conference matchup, and a big reason why Marshall Bjorklund. He's our Nodak Mutual Insurance Player of the Game.
Well, I know you guys are getting tired of hearing this, but he doesn't miss many shots. 11 of 16 from the field because of looks like this, and he showed off the footwork underneath the basket as well. 28 points, 6 rebounds from Marshall. He had big buckets when NDSU needed him at all times tonight, as he is the player of the game thanks to his 28-point effort here at the BSA.
Bjorklund, our Nodak Mutual Insurance Player of the Game. North Dakota State moving to 9-4. That will help their RPI. Certainly Towson, a team that has some high expectations come March. And Jamal, for North Dakota State, we've really seen this week just how resilient this group can be. We've seen great efforts from everybody, and different guys step up at different times.
Whether it be Lawrence Alexander, whether it be Taylor Braun, whether Marshall Bjorklund, they've got the pieces. They're a really strong team, and they can play, as I said earlier in the broadcast, any type of basketball that you want to play. A very impressive team NDSU looks to be heading into conference play.
Of course, the Summit League favorites, North Dakota State. Denver, certainly a team that is going to be right there, we think. They've had a good non-conference season, picked to finish second. We'll have that game for you on March 1st in high definition here on the NBC North Dakota Sports Network. And also 4 more games from the men's side on MeTV, along with the women's game against South Dakota State on January 25th. Thanks for joining us on this production of NDSU basketball on NBC North Dakota Sports. For Jamal Spencer and our entire NBC North Dakota sports crew, I'm Brian Shawn saying so long from the Bison Sports Arena. NDSU is 9-4 with the 90-82 victory over Towson. So long, everybody.